Good morning. How do you report critical interest expense on your Form 1120S for your S corporation? Well, you have three options. By three options, they all will go on the main Form 1120S. So that means your S corporation is engaged in an active business activities. So you are a trade or business activities. You sell cost of goods. You sell goods. You manufacture to sell, or you provide services. So that's the only way it will make sense to have an S corporation when you actively work in your business. So if you have an S corporation, you'll file Form 1120S. And if you use credit cards, business credit card, because you shouldn't be using your personal credit card for your business expenses, especially if you have an S corporation or you have an L.L.C and you request from the IRS to be taxed as an S corporation. Get a business credit card. If you use your business credit card to make purchases and you didn't pay in full during the year and end up paying some interest on the credit card balance, how do you deduct that expense? If you use the credit card to make purchases of goods to sell or raw material to manufacture goods to sell, and you do inventory, then your credit card debts with the credit card interest that you paid, not the one that you didn't pay, but the one you paid, will be tied to the purchases of the good. So that will go on Form 1125A that you use. That's a form you use to report your inventory. So you'll have line 2 of that form 1125A will have purchases. Well, when you add the purchases there, you can add the interest you paid during the year related to those purchases there as well. So when you calculate the cost of goods, so a portion of the interest you pay will be deducted, and that will go on line 2 of Form 1120S. The second option will be line 13, interest of Form 1120S. You can use that line as well if you totally believe those interests you pay on your credit card is fully deductible that year. You can just put it there as well. The third option will be line 19, other deductions. So you'll be able to add it to that line 19 as well. A lot of time when they have line and then they say other deductions, a lot of time that will require you to attach a spreadsheet where you detail those expenses that you try to group under that line. So I'm going to show you those two forms, 1120S and 1125A, so that we see the lines that I'm talking about. So we have one form open here. Let's scroll up to check. That will be Form 1120S. U.S. Income Tax Return for an S Corporation, 1120S. So if your credit card interest expense that you pay during the year is tied to your inventory, that will be a portion of it. If you didn't sell all your goods, you have some left in stock, so the portion you sold will include a portion of that interest you paid. So this attachment, Form 1125A, let's open it here. So pretty much purchases during the year, if you spend $1,000 on goods and you pay $200 on credit card interest, so you can put 1,200 on that row. And don't mind those numbers that I have here, does not have anything to do with what we are talking about. So, and then when you add inventory at the beginning of the year, purchases during the year that include your interest expenses, and you deduct the inventory at the end of the year. By inventories, we are not talking about quantities, we are talking about costs. So the cost of the inventory at the beginning of the year, the cost of purchases of goods, anything related to your inventory, when you add those two and you take the cost of inventory in stock out of it, that will give you the cost of goods sold. So that means this cost of goods sold, you'll have a portion of the interest paid for your credit cards that you use to purchase goods. If you still have some goods in inventory you didn't sell, you are not going to deduct the full amount of interest paid on the credit cards. Only a portion related to the goods that you sold will be deducted. So that will be including the cost of good on line 8, and that will go to Form 1120S line 2, and that will decrease the total income here. Your second option will be under deductions, and we talk about line 13. So line 13, interest, you'll be able to put it here as well if you believe the credit card interest expense should be fully deductible and is not tied to your inventory. You can just put it on line 13 expenses. Your third option, which will be a good option as well, will be line 19, other deductions, but you need to attach a PDF or a spreadsheet. Remember to put your business name on that spreadsheet or on that form. You put the business name, the EIN number, and the form you are trying to file, Form 1120S, and you put line 20, line 19, other deductions, and you list all the deductions that you are trying to group here in a table with the dollar amount related to it. So the interest paid on the credit card could go there as well and specify. If you believe it shouldn't be tied to your purchases of good, it should be fully deductible. It should be fully deductible. Then you can just, it starts deductible during that year. You can just add it to your line 19 here. So those are the options you have to deduct your credit card interest. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Afiavi Ojune Liberman, creators of Liberman Consulting L.L.C YouTube channel, owners of Nina's Soap, our blog, Nina's Soap, our natural apparel, our natural store, a natural product store, and liberlabel.com, our custom apparel store. Thank you for watching our video. Thank you for subscribing, and thank you for all your comments.